Hi Flosstube, welcome back to Snickerdoodle Stitch. This is normally a channel about cross stitch, but today I'm going to do a very quick demo and explanation of the supplies needed to make drops like this that you can use as a zipper pull. You could put them on floss drops, you could use them as a scissor fob. It has a lobster clasp, so you could put it on and off anything as you wanted. And these are a bunch that I've made here. This is the one that I actually gave as my table gift, along with a little pair of scissors at Stitching in the Wild. So this is fabric that I put in here, and it was this fabric from Moda. It's a digital photo of needlepoint. So I had just used a couple of these smaller flowers, this one and this one over here, to make these drops. So to make the drops, you can use fabric, you can use photocopies. What you cannot use is photographs. The glues are going to react with photographs because the glues are water soluble, at least the glues that you need. So that was the question that I was getting at Stitching in the Wild, was what kind of glue had I used? So, or could you use that wouldn't leave like funny little crystals or cloudiness or anything like that under there? And these glues are crystal clear. They're ones that I've used myself. This bracelet I made about 10 years ago, and you can see it's still crystal clear. The glue has not discolored or done anything funny. And the supplies for the bracelet and the glue that I used is from a company called Craft Fantastic. So I hadn't planned on filming today, but I actually emailed Craft Fantastic just to confirm they're still in business. Their website was still up, but I had not seen her at shows in recent years. I do a lot of craft stamp and scrapbook stamping in particular shows. So anyway, she hadn't been there in a while, but she replied right back and said that she's in business still. She's just not doing shows, and a lot of vendors went to not doing shows after the pandemic. I think they just adjusted to strictly an online and video kind of marketing. So anyway, I hadn't planned on filming today, but she very nicely gave me a promo code that I could share. So I am not affiliated in any way, just a happy customer. The company is called Craft Fantastic, and they're at craftfantastic.com. And she gave me a promo code for 25% off. She said it would be good for 2 weeks, and she sent it to me on Saturday the 27th. So should be good at least until the 9th, maybe the 10th, but I can't guarantee that. I'm not sure exactly what 2 weeks meant. The code is Thanks Kathleen, exclamation point. She did have a cap T and a cap K. I'm not sure if that will be critical or not. And there are no spaces in there. And I'll put these details in below. But that was very sweet of Anne to share that, that coupon code. This is the glue that I use. You can also use, and I did test it just to confirm, but the one thing I don't know is if it will yellow over time. But it's Glossy Accents. This one is readily available in Joann's. It looks like Michael's does not carry it. Hobby Lobby might. I wasn't able to confirm on them. And you can get it on Amazon. It's by Ranger. Ranger markets to stampers, rubber stampers. But this is called Glossy Accents, and it will work as well. I just don't know if 10 years from now it would be yellowed or do anything funny. And maybe that's not important to you. Maybe they're intended to be, you know, only for a few years. So anyway, for your design in there, you can use fabric. I showed the fabric that I used. You can use photocopies. I have a photocopy I'm going to demo with today. This little mouse, it's actually a photocopy from a stamp magazine from years ago that I've had clipped out wanting to do this with. Craft Fantastic also sells these pre-printed images. So here's some butterflies. We've got like retro Halloween. Each sheet is themed. Here we've got retro Valentine's Day. Sorry, I'm moving so fast. This one is retro Christmas. You can tell I like retro, and she has lots of retro things. We've got some cats. There are a lot of different sizes on this sheet. She is primarily marketing her pieces to make jewelry with. So she's got smaller pieces for earrings and larger ones for necklaces, pins, whatever. This one is just kind of Victorian. So she has all kinds of different sheets. So that's another option as well. They're very reasonably priced. You can tell I have a big supply of them. But let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to show you how to actually assemble one of these, how to use the glue. I'll start with the paper one, or the fabric one, I mean. So this is a piece of fabric that it's heavier than quilt weight. It's something that I bought that was imported from Germany, I think. And I actually have a cross-stitch pattern that I just recently bought from Germany that looks like her. So I might have to look and see if it's the same artist. So quite often I will find artists in my fabric and other places that are crossing over. So what you want to do is you just want to put a little puddle. Not too big because you're going to have to clean it up and you don't want to spend half your day cleaning up. So I've got a little puddle of glue there. I do have a piece of cardstock under this one. It's just a lightweight white cardstock because the glue is going to seep through the fabric. And then we're just going to drop it down and center it where we want it. And I think that's good. It will slide around for a while. And now I'm just going to leave that sit there for a minute. We're going to clean up the glue around the edges, but I need it to stop sliding around. You will tell when that happens. Like right now, if I just shimmy slightly with my finger, it will move if I really pushed it, but it's not slipping and sliding all over the place anymore. I am going to hold it in place with my finger, and I'm just going to use a Q-tip to get some of this glue off the sides. I don't want this big gob that just oozed out right there. All right. I'm just rubbing it lightly to make sure I didn't get glue anywhere that I don't want it. So now we're going to set this aside so that it can continue setting up, and I'm going to do another one. This one is on a photocopy. So it was printed on my laser printer. I did test this glue also on an inkjet printer, and it would be fine as well. So again, I've just got a little puddle. That might not be quite enough. It's always the dilemma. You want to make sure you have enough. Yeah, that's a really big piece of glass. You want to make sure you have enough that it's going to cover the entire piece of glass when it squishes out, but not, like I said, so that you have gobs and gobs that you're going to be cleaning up for the rest of your day. All right. So that did what I wanted to do. I'm just going to leave that sit now. So while these sit, this is one that I did earlier. It's been drying for, I don't know, 15 minutes. This is actually take 2 for me. I goofed up a couple things in the first one. So I'm just going to use my scissors and cut around here. You don't have to have a perfect edge because remember, this is going to go in a bezel tray. So you're never going to see that paper edge. You can see mine's a little raggedy looking, but when you put it down in the tray, you're never going to see that edge. It's going to get glued down in there. So let me clean this up before this glue completely dries here this way. And let me just clean that up a little better. Okay, let's set it aside to dry. So now I have this one, it dried. I'm ready to glue it in here. Well, let's talk bezel trays for a minute. So you'll see these are drastically different. This is a much higher quality tray. I've got the higher quality ones in 2 colors. This is a really thin stainless steel one, this one. It's a really thin stainless steel one. The loop isn't as nice. It's fine for a zipper pull. The higher quality ones came from Craft Fantastic. She has packages that come with the glass and the trays, which are very nice. This one came from Amazon. So the other thing with Craft Fantastic is her glass, she curates so that it doesn't have any imperfections in it. I was actually happy with these ones from Amazon, but they only came in this size. So for the ovals or the bigger ones, I'm using the Craft Fantastic. I have jewelry as well that I made from her, like the bracelet, or here's the necklace. She's got these fancy pendant trays. So she has a little more options than what you're going to readily find on Amazon. To glue this in, I prefer B7000. It will hold extremely well. One thing Craft Fantastic does sell are these little clear adhesive dots that you can use. They also hold extremely well and won't damage your piece at all. I was gluing a couple hundred things for Stitch North, and the little adhesive dots wasn't an option at that volume. So I just got some dots of B7000 in there. I'm going to pop this in, hold it down, and our bezel tray is done. So that it's really that simple. It's just a matter of having the right products. So the glues that you're holding your thing down, your piece of artwork down, is what's really critical, more so than the other pieces. Okay, one last thing that I did want to share and is how to open a jump ring. These are jump rings. Let me get this stuff out of the way so that I'm sure my camera will focus properly. So I've got jump rings and I've got lobster claws here. This jump ring, so there is a right and a wrong way to open a jump ring. And it's critical with jump rings. This isn't one of those things where it's just people being particular and fussy. What you do not want to do is, if I can get the pliers on here this way. What you do not want to do is this. This jump ring doesn't even want to do it. Okay, do you see how that jump ring, I've pulled it apart. So it started out like a circle and I pulled it this way to open it. You do not want to do that. It will never close again properly. So that jump ring I need to remember to throw away because it's never going to work. The way you want to open a jump ring, let me move stuff again so I have some hope of this focusing. The way you want to open a jump ring is with a twisting motion. So see, I've got the pliers on each side of the split there. And I am going to twist. So now my jump ring looks like this. See, if I look at it from the top, it's still a circle. It's just twisted open. It is not pulled apart like the other one that I did. So it doesn't look like this. If I twist it like this, it will go back together. So I'm going to slip on my lobster claw. I'm going to put my pliers back on either side. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this in focus, and I'm just going to twist. Needs a little bit more. Okay. And you can see now we've got the perfect jump ring. It's back in a circle. My lobster claw is not going to fall off. Now the reason I was having so much trouble opening that one, and I forgot it needs to go on here as well before I go closing things up. These are 9mm heavy gauge jump rings. You do need heavy gauge, especially if you're going to use it for a zipper pull, because people are going to be tugging on it. Some of the jewelry findings that you're going to see in the craft store are such a lightweight gauge that they're not going to hold up to being tugged and pulled on. And after you've put your time and money into making your fancy piece, you don't want it falling off. So the ones that I found that work really well are these, and they're from Hobby Lobby. And they're 9mm heavy gauge jump rings, and they are very heavy. I mean, you saw I did have to fight a bit to get them to open. One thing with them, because they are so thick that every now and then I run into something like, some of them I will attach with the jump ring directly on my zipper pull. I mean, the part of the zipper that's already there. I don't have a zipper in here. And this won't fit through that little tiny hole that's on that zipper tab that you would normally pull. So I have also used the 6mm heavy gauge jump rings. These will fit through any zipper, even like a standard dress size zipper pull that's like that little skinny tab. And these seem to be they're stainless steel, and they're heavy duty enough that they don't pull apart. So you can tug on them and they're going to stay in place. So again, I prefer the 9mm. These will work just as well. Sometimes the challenge with them is that the hole is small enough that if you're using a fancier bail, it won't always fit. So those are the jump rings to use. So I think we've covered everything. The glue for putting the your artwork, your glass on top of your artwork, trim around, glue in place with B7000. The jump rings, again, these are Hobby Lobby. I think they're $3.99 a pack. So catch a sale, and these are super cheap. Yeah, that's everything. So hopefully you now are all set and ready to go make some jump rings. And I am going to go get back to yard work, which is what I'm supposed to be doing today, until I realized that Anne had very nicely sent this coupon code for us. So I'll put some links below to some of the supplies where you can find them on Amazon, and to the website here for Craft Fantastic, along with the promo code. I hope you're having a great weekend. Bye.